In less than a month it'll have been a full year since I did my first video on T-Moss Boss. And it's already been more than a year since Just a Robot did his first video on him. It's funny how time flies. Some of you might be thinking, Brad, why do another video on this guy? Well, out of all the people I've done videos on, T-Moss Boss seems like the most likely person who could change. With people like Steve Shives or Riley, I don't have high hopes for them changing their positions. And while Lazy Green proved that it's not necessarily impossible, in the very least I doubt it's going to be one of my videos that gets them to see the light and change their positions. Or at least listen to someone outside of their echo chambers. With T-Moss Boss though, he at the very least acknowledges the videos that are made about him. And while he doesn't usually give the ideas expressed in them a fair hearing, he's at least aware of them. When I started this channel, one of my hopes was that I might be able to significantly change someone for the better. And if I could just reach through to him and get him to understand, then that will make it all worthwhile. So T-Moss Boss, on the off chance that you're actually watching this, I only ask that you watch to the end and try to see if you can understand my side of things.
Okay, what's up guys? Now, I wanted to make this video in defense for all reactors around the world. You know, small reactors, big reactors, or even the biggest YouTubers in the world making reaction videos. We always get those comments and those videos and that hate and negativity and things.
I'm pretty sure all well-known YouTubers get those comments sometimes.
Because of what we do. And I just want to be that person to defend it. Because it's like, one would think as long as we're entertaining people, you know, on YouTube, like the YouTube community and stuff, as long as we're entertaining people, that should really, that should just be the only thing that matters.
And while it's true that all YouTubers get hate comments sometimes, that doesn't mean you should dismiss every time someone says something negative as them simply being a hater. While the old saying, haters gonna hate, is accurate, there are times where people will have legitimate complaints. I'm not saying you have to listen to everyone who doesn't like your videos or something about your videos, but you should be at least willing to consider it.
You know, but you got the people that want to throw in, oh, it's against the guidelines, it's against the fair use. But it doesn't say anywhere that you can't make reaction videos. And I've said that before. And then they always find some more crap to say. But it's like, no, let's go all the way back to this. You just said that it's against the guidelines. It's against the fair use. You can't do reaction videos.
When we say reaction videos are violating the guidelines, we're not talking about all reaction videos. We're talking specifically about reaction videos that show the entirety of the original video. It's just easier to say reaction videos than reaction videos that play the entirety of the original video every time. It works like this. When you use someone else's copyrighted work in your own, you're by default breaking copyright. There are two ways around this though, either 1, getting permission, or 2, by using fair use. In the case of the latter, your work is determined to be fair use based on 4 guidelines. The first one being whether or not it's monetized. A video that's monetized is less likely to be considered fair use, but this is the least important in terms of fair use, so you can monetize content while still being within fair use. A more important aspect to this guideline is whether or not it's transformative. As far as reaction videos go, this is a more gray area, since adding a reaction can add to it, but how much is added is subjective. The second is the nature of the copyrighted material. Using a fact-based source is more likely to be determined as fair use than a fictional source. In other words, using footage from CNN is off limits. But in all seriousness, this one also isn't an end-all be-all. Now we get to the third part, and this is one of the most important aspects. Amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. This is the problem people have with your reaction videos. They use the entirety of the original video. If you just edited out some parts, then there would be no problem. Now granted, this source does say that some courts have found use of an entire work to be fair under certain circumstances, but that brings us to the last point. The effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. Keep this one in mind, it's going to come back later.
Stepping onto your guys' side that don't like reaction videos and all that stuff, now I can understand if there's a YouTuber out there, they sit there in silence. They don't say anything, they don't do anything, they just sit there and just watch the video like they don't do nothing. Now that I can understand, okay?
There actually are reaction videos out there that are like that, and to your credit, yours are better than those ones. But just because there are people who do worse doesn't make what you do okay. A person who steals a candy bar isn't as bad as someone who robs a bank, but that doesn't mean stealing the candy bar is okay.
And it's like, no matter what anybody says, you might have those people that say like, oh, we're not watching your reaction, we're watching the video.
And this brings us back to condition number 4. Effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. This is another reason why it's important to edit the video down, because if you don't do that, people will inevitably try to use it to watch the original video. Once you start editing the video down though, then they'll have to start watching the original video.
Okay, then why did you not find the original video then? When people say that type of stuff, I'm thinking in my head, why did you not find the original video?
It's because people are lazy, and as long as they can get the video in your video, they're not going to go out of their way to find the original video, even if all it takes is clicking a simple link.
There was a time before when I reacted to a person on, it was just a random YouTuber, and they did like top 10, top 5 videos and stuff. So I reacted to their video. You know, a fan wanted me. It was like a fan suggested video. I'm like, that sounds like an interesting video, so I'll react to it. So I reacted to it, and I was just like, it was a good video. I liked it, gave it good feedback, and then, uploaded it. Then I just let, the other work did its work and stuff. But then I got comments from that person that I reacted to. Now, they said, and I was just like, okay, so I completely offended this person. That was like the first thing that ran through my mind when I was reading their comment, okay? That I offended this person. And I'm like, and I'm so ready to take this video down out of respect for them, okay? And if it was like McJuggernuggets or anybody, if they were to contact me and they just be all like, hey, can you not react to our videos? We don't want that. I'm like, okay.
It works the other way around. If you want to do a reaction video to someone else's video and you haven't edited the video down so it falls under fair use, then you need to contact them and get their consent. Let's say you have a neighbor with an apple tree who rarely picks the apples. If you were to go onto their property, take the apples without their permission, and then agree to give them back once they catch you, that doesn't make it right. Unless you know for certain that they're fine with you taking their apples, you don't have a right to use them, and they shouldn't have to constantly check out their window to see if anyone's stealing them.
But, so they contacted me and they said, they was just all like, that they hate reaction videos. They hate reaction channels. They hate reactors. Anything that does a reaction video, they hate it. I don't think they sell that. But they did say that they despise like reaction videos and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I offended this person. I'm about ready to take this video down. But they said that they seen my video and they seen that it was a good video and that they was entertained by it. And that's all that matters. If you just entertain the person that you reacted to, then really, are reaction videos that bad?
If someone is okay with you reacting to their video, then that's fine, go for it. But you still need to get permission before you do the video. Going back to the apple tree analogy, if your neighbor decides they're okay with you using their apples, that's fine. But you still should get permission to take the apples before you actually do it. Now with copyright, it's a bit different because in addition to having the option to get permission beforehand, you also have the option of fair use, which if you do it correctly, you don't need permission. Even if the person in question doesn't like what you've done with it, you're still protected under fair use, and as such, they can't do anything about it. Again, we're not asking for much. just edit out parts of the original video or get permission. If you started doing that for all your reaction videos, I, and possibly even just a robot, would be willing to give you a shout out for it. You also might be able to make an exception for movie trailers. Since the point of a movie trailer is to get people to watch the movie as opposed to getting people to watch the trailer itself, you could make a sound argument that reacting to a movie trailer can only help the movie itself. It's a bit of a gray area, but it is something to be considered. One last thing I'd like to touch upon before I end the video. I've noticed a lot of T-Moss Boss's videos have been getting mass downvoted. Downvoting his reaction videos or his videos where he defends reaction videos is one thing, but I actually don't approve of people downvoting things like his Rockstar Editor videos. I'm not going to demand anything, but I would like to note that downvoting someone's videos indiscriminately isn't a good way to incentivize them to improve. All it really does is give him grounds to base his perception that the people who dislike him are simply mindless haters. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.